Hello, my name is Molly Hafer, and I'd like to speak to you today about gender-specific toys, their marketing, and how this impacts childhood development. But first, a quick question. When was the last time you really paid attention to the toy aisle at your local big box store? Well, as someone with a 2-year-old little brother, I definitely know my way around a Target toy section, and when we were just confined to the infants area, I noticed no strong lean towards feminine or masculine labeling in the toys. The toys were simple, genderless playthings. But now that he's older and I'm dragged with him to the Toys for Older Boys section, I'm constantly taken aback by the extreme direction in which all the toys lean. The best example of such a extreme direction is like Candyland. As you cross from Licorice Lagoon to Lollipop Forest, the game board portrays significant differences between each area, almost jarring in contrast. The same can be said for the toy aisle in many big box superstores. From aisle to aisle, you would think you were traveling to different worlds, as the girls' sections are practically painted pink, while the boys is an explosion of red and blue. Now, since the 1990s, there has been little effort made to neutralize the toy world in regards to gender labeling. Elizabeth Sweet, a UC Davis psychologist, once said in a New York Times interview, "The world of toys looks more like 1952 than 2012, which poses the question, how much does society separate the toys in regards to gender?" There was once a poster from the Lego Corporation released in the 1970s featuring a happy red-headed girl and stating, "It's a look you'll see whenever children build something all by themselves, no matter what they've created." Now, flash forward to 2012 when Lego released Lego Friends, a pink and purple fantasy land featuring Valley Girl-esque characters and feminized sets. This is a perfect example of a corporation dividing the sexes when there is no need for the distinction in the first place. These divides only suppress young minds and serve to exemplify that men and women should be in two separate spheres instead of coexisting as one. This enforces inequality at a young age, as girls are made to believe they should exist only for domesticity and men should exist only for masculinity. How did Lego go from genderless, inspiring statements to just another toy company contributing to the polarization of genders? And, more importantly, why is it so important that we separate these genders in the first place? Professor Elaine Blakemore, Associate Dean of Arts and Sciences at Purdue University, in an interview with NAEYC, stated that we found that girls' toys were associated with physical attractiveness, nurturing, and domestic skills, whereas boys' toys were rated as violent, competitive, exciting, and somewhat dangerous. What this teaches our children is that girls have advanced no further than the fragile housewives of the 1950s, and men must always be the manly stereotype of an antiquated society. Now, you must be thinking, why can't people just ignore the labeling and buy things regardless of marketing techniques? Well, if only it were that simple. The fact of the matter is, the model in which the human race has developed is one of a conformist nature. Though the millennial generation is proving to be a break in this chain of blending in, it doesn't stop the old generations from relying on the principles wired into their heads. You may even say this is an example of old habits die hard. Many shoppers, whether shopping for their child, grandchild, etc., will see the pink labeling or the "for boys" statement on the box and be uncomfortable giving a misgendered item to a child, believing the child's gender will prohibit them from enjoying the toy. Society has been taught pink is for girls and blue is for boys. From the moment they are born, they are swathed in these colors. But colors aren't the influencers for the future. The toys children play with are the stepping stones for who they become. Children don't come out of the womb predestined to be housewives, construction workers, soldiers, or doctors. However, if a child is only surrounded by pink and purple blocks with Valley Girls as their role models, or flame-laden race cars, or action guns, what does that serve to show them as their role in society? This only defines the roles of gender when, as a society, we are moving closer to a barrierless existence. The influences around them are the sparks of interest for the future, toys being one of the biggest influences in a child's development process. And the thing is, though it may be hard for consumers to break what society has perpetuated, this simple relabeling and rearrangement of the toys by theme and less by gender can cause a chain reaction of change in retail consumer habits. How simple it would be for Target, Walmart, or any other big box seller to have an adventure section instead of a boys action toy section. Having toy cars with the Barbies instead of mixing the toys so there is no real telling what each area is supposed to represent. Imagine how inspired kids will be without the confining principles of gender-based toys, striking passion for more than the rules perpetuated by society. Though it'll take time, I beseech our big box overlords to reconsider their advertising and our new generation to not be so hesitant to buy your niece that race car or your son that Barbie, because in the end, how can we as a society move forward when the gender-specific toys are anchoring us to the past?